Your soil is not bad. It's dead. And no matter how much fertilizer you pour into it, no matter how often you water, no matter how hard you try, you're not growing plants. You're fighting a losing battle against soil that has completely lost its life. Here's what most people don't understand. Healthy soil isn't just dirt. It's a living system. Billions of microorganisms, nutrient cycling, roots interacting, structure forming. And once that system collapses, everything above it starts to fail. That's why your plants struggle, your yields drop, and nothing seems to grow the way it should. And the worst part? Most solutions people use actually make it worse over time. But here's the part nobody tells you. You don't fix dead soil by adding more. You fix it by planting smarter. There are specific plants that don't just survive in poor soil. They go in, rebuild it from the ground up, and bring it back to life naturally. No chemicals. No guesswork. Just a system that works. On this channel, we don't chase quick fixes. We build systems that last. And in today's video, you're about to discover 7 powerful plants that can revive dead soil faster than most people think possible. Once you understand this, you'll stop trying to feed your soil and start learning how to heal it. Plant number 1, clover. Clover doesn't just grow in poor soil, it thrives in it. And that's exactly why it's one of the most powerful plants you can use to bring dead soil back to life. Most plants depend on what's already in the soil to survive, but clover flips that completely. It partners with beneficial bacteria in its roots to pull nitrogen directly from the air and convert it into a usable form, literally creating fertility where there was none before. And this isn't a small effect. It's a continuous process happening underground, day after day. While other plants are struggling and draining what little nutrients remain, clover is actively rebuilding the soil's nutrient profile. Over time, that nitrogen becomes available not just to clover, but to every other plant growing around it. This is why farmers use it as a cover crop. It doesn't just survive in poor conditions, it transforms them. But the real power of clover isn't just below the surface, it's also what it does above it. As it spreads, it forms a dense, living carpet over the soil. This protects the ground from direct sunlight, which helps preserve moisture and prevents the soil from drying out and becoming lifeless again. It also reduces erosion, especially in areas where soil has already been weakened. And then comes the long-term effect. As clover grows, dies back, and decomposes, it adds organic matter into the soil. This is what truly brings soil back to life. Organic matter feeds microorganisms, improves structure, and helps the soil retain both water and nutrients. Over time, the soil becomes darker, softer, and more fertile. Clover isn't just a plant, it's a system builder. You're not just planting it to grow, you're planting it to repair everything beneath it. Plant number 2, comfrey. If clover builds fertility, comfrey mines it. This is one of the most powerful soil repair plants you can grow, but it works in a way most people don't fully understand. Comfrey sends its roots deep, much deeper than most plants can reach. We're talking about layers of soil that have been untouched for years, where valuable minerals are locked away and completely unavailable to shallow-rooted crops. What comfrey does is almost like underground excavation. It reaches those deep layers and pulls up nutrients like potassium, calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals, things your topsoil desperately needs but can't access on its own. Then it stores those nutrients in its large, fast-growing leaves. Now here's where the magic happens. When you cut those leaves and lay them on the soil, or when the plant naturally sheds them, those nutrients are released right back into the top layer of the soil, the exact place where your crops can finally use them. This creates a natural nutrient cycle that doesn't rely on fertilizers or external inputs. It's a closed-loop system. Comfrey pulls nutrients from deep underground and deposits them exactly where they're needed. But that's only half of what it does. Comfrey is also a biomass machine. It grows aggressively, producing large amounts of leafy material in a short period of time. The more you cut it, the more it grows back. And every time you cut it, you're adding organic matter back into the soil. Over time, this constant cycle of growth and decomposition dramatically improves soil structure. The soil becomes looser, richer, and more capable of holding water and nutrients. Comfrey doesn't just improve soil, it recharges it from below and rebuilds it from above at the same time. Plant number 3, alfalfa. Alfalfa is one of those plants that quietly does everything right for your soil, but most people underestimate just how powerful it is. This isn't just a cover crop, it's a deep soil restorer that works on multiple levels at the same time. First, like clover, alfalfa is a nitrogen fixer. It forms a relationship with beneficial bacteria that allows it to pull nitrogen from the air and store it in the soil. But what makes alfalfa even more effective is how deep its roots go. These roots can reach several feet into the ground, pulling nutrients from layers that most plants will never touch. That means you're not just adding nitrogen, you're bringing up minerals from deep underground and slowly redistributing them into the topsoil. Over time, this creates a much more balanced nutrient profile, something that chemical fertilizers can't replicate because they only target the surface. But here's where alfalfa becomes even more valuable. Its roots don't just extract nutrients, they open up the soil. As they grow deeper and spread, they create channels that improve water infiltration and airflow. This is critical for bringing life back into compacted or lifeless soil. And when alfalfa eventually breaks down, it adds a rich layer of organic matter that feeds microorganisms and improves soil structure. It's not a quick fix, it's a long-term builder. Alfalfa works quietly, slowly, and deeply, but once it's established, it turns weak soil into something far more stable and productive. Plant number 4, daikon radish, tillage radish. If your soil feels hard, compacted, and lifeless, then the real problem isn't just nutrients, it's structure. Because even if nutrients are present, plants can't access them if their roots can't penetrate the soil. Water can't move properly, air can't circulate, and without air and water movement, soil life struggles to exist. This is where daikon radish becomes one of the most effective tools you can use. Unlike regular radishes, this variety grows a long, thick taproot that drills straight down into the soil. As it grows, it physically pushes through compacted layers, breaking them apart and creating channels deep underground. It's like natural tilling, but without disturbing the soil ecosystem. And those channels don't disappear. After the radish completes its cycle and begins to decompose, it leaves behind pathways that allow water, oxygen, and future plant roots to move freely through the soil. This is critical for rebuilding a healthy soil structure. But there's more. As the radish breaks down, it adds organic matter directly into those deeper layers, not just on the surface. This feeds soil microorganisms at multiple levels, helping to restore life throughout the soil profile, not just the top layer. Another key benefit is nutrient cycling. As it grows, the radish absorbs nutrients that might otherwise be lost, storing them in its root. When it decomposes, those nutrients are released back into the soil in a more accessible form. So instead of compacted, lifeless dirt, you start developing a soil system that is open, breathable, and active. Daikon radish doesn't just sit in the soil, it rebuilds its entire structure from the inside out. Plant number 5, mustard, which is grown as a cover crop. Mustard might look simple on the surface, but beneath that simplicity is a plant that can reset damaged soil in ways most people don't expect. One of its most powerful roles is biofumigation. As mustard grows, it produces natural compounds that can suppress harmful soil organisms, including certain pests and pathogens that build up over time. And when the plant is cut and incorporated back into the soil, those compounds are released more intensely, helping to clean and rebalance the soil environment. This is especially important for soil that has been overused or repeatedly planted with the same crops. Over time, harmful organisms can build up and reduce productivity. Mustard helps break that cycle naturally, without chemicals. But that's not all. Mustard is also a fast grower, which means it quickly covers bare soil. This protects the soil from erosion, reduces weed growth, and helps retain moisture. In a short period of time, it can turn exposed, vulnerable soil into a protected, active surface. Another key benefit is organic matter. When mustard is cut down and left to decompose, it feeds the soil with fresh material, encouraging microbial activity. And that microbial activity is what truly brings soil back to life. So while it may seem like just another plant, mustard acts as both a protector and a reset button for your soil. Plant number 6, sunflowers. Sunflowers are often grown for their beauty, but what's happening beneath the surface is far more important than what you see above it. These plants develop strong, penetrating root systems that can break through compacted soil layers, similar to what radishes do, but in a different way. Instead of a single taproot, sunflowers create a network of roots that spread and stabilize the soil, improving both structure and strength. As they grow, sunflowers also absorb a wide range of nutrients from the soil, including some that are present in excess or in forms other plants can't use effectively. This makes them useful for balancing soil that has been over-fertilized or chemically treated in the past. In some cases, sunflowers are even used to help clean contaminated soil because of their ability to absorb certain unwanted elements. While that's a more advanced use, it shows just how powerful they are as soil-improving plants. But one of their biggest contributions comes after they finish growing. When sunflower stalks and roots break down, they add significant organic matter back into the soil. Because they grow large and produce a lot of biomass, they leave behind a strong impact on soil fertility. They also create natural pathways in the soil that improve water movement and root penetration for future plants. Sunflowers don't just sit on top of the soil looking good. They restructure, rebalance, and rebuild it from within. Plant number 7, hairy vetch. Hairy vetch is one of the most powerful soil rebuilding plants you can grow, especially if your soil is severely depleted. Like clover and alfalfa, it's a nitrogen fixer, but what makes it stand out is how aggressively it works and how much biomass it produces. When planted, hairy vetch spreads quickly, covering the soil and forming a dense layer that protects it from erosion, sunlight damage, and moisture loss. This alone creates a more stable environment for soil life to begin recovering. But beneath the surface, something even more important is happening. Its roots are actively fixing nitrogen at a high rate, enriching the soil far beyond what many other cover crops can achieve. Over time, this builds a strong foundation of fertility that benefits any crops planted afterward. But the real strength of hairy vetch comes from what happens when it's cut down. It produces a large amount of organic material, and when that material is left on the soil, it breaks down and feeds microorganisms. This process helps rebuild the biological life in the soil, the part that truly determines whether soil is alive or dead. As decomposition continues, nutrients are released slowly, creating a steady supply instead of a quick spike. This leads to more balanced growth in future plants. Hairy vetch doesn't just improve soil, it floods it with life and fertility. So when you really look at it, dead soil isn't the end, it's just the starting point. Because the problem was never that your soil couldn't grow, it's that it lost the life it needed to support growth. And instead of trying to fix that with chemicals, you can rebuild it the way nature always has, with the right plants. Each of these plants plays a role. Some add nutrients, some break up the soil, some protect it, and others bring life back into the system. But when you use them together, something powerful happens. You stop treating the soil, and you start restoring it. And once your soil is alive again, everything changes. Plants grow stronger, yields increase, and gardening becomes easier, not harder. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like the video and subscribe, because we're going to keep showing you smarter, more powerful ways to grow. And before you go, which of these are you planting first to revive your soil?